Okay. So say you have somebody who,
So I don't.
like middle-aged woman going through menopause is totally having just tons of hot flashes and insomnia, and she's totally pitta imbalanced. What would be examples then of the things that you would do to burn that off so that they can then go to the yoga
Yeah. So
nidra?
there's a lot of this in the course. So I don't know where you are, but
Okay,
when we get to that, just so you know, but I'll answer you. But just so you know, it's in here
right,
for sure. So
right.
basically, the general
Okay,
concept is that you're sort of catching up to the pitta, and when you work with pitta, you're basically teaching it's sensitivity training. So you get somebody to feel the heat in their body and then control where that heat goes. So for instance, doing, say, a whole bunch of sun salutes and then having them not feel that heat in their head. It's like a typical way to do that. So learning how to work at a sort of moderate pace that matches their pitta. What's interesting is when you're pitta imbalance, you quickly find out that that's not very much, right? Um,
mm-hmm.
so, or doing, there's a version of like a sort of slow Kabbalah Bhati, and like how many of these slow Kabbalah Bhatis can you do without that heat rising? And so what that does is force you to like get really internal with your awareness of your sensations. So that's one part of the training. Another way to do it is to basically have something that's like kind of is hard, and you sort of catch up to that pitta and then you slowly wind them down. That's another way if they can't do that first way. Those are the kind of two strategies I usually use. My teacher always made this analogy of catching up to a runaway horse. That's like a pitta person. So
Mm-hmm.
you ride alongside it and you slowly
Mm-hmm.
slow down. But in both cases, hopefully you're getting to the part where they're getting internal, right? You might not be able to do that right away,
Mm-hmm.
but at some point, you work your way in. But that's the general, and you'll see in the course, that's generally how we talk about it. But you're always
Mm-hmm.
sensitizing that person. And pittas, once they're sensitized and actually change their behaviors based on their internal sensations, if they're also a pitta type, that's a really useful skill because pitta types have like often a lot of sort of power, and they just have to learn how to attenuate themselves.